We are here today to call for accountability and transparency about the very serious accusations of abuse of children under the state's care at Aunt Martha's Integrated Care Center in Chicago, along with what appears to be the Pritzker administration's attempt to cover it up. A recent Injustice Watch report outlined thousands of reports of violence, including the most serious allegations of sexual and physical abuse of children under the care of the state-funded center. When Governor Pritzker came into office, he repeatedly held up this facility as a national example for how to care for the most at-risk foster children who are prior victims of abuse. He hired a top executive of Aunt Martha's, Mark Smith, to serve as his hand-picked director of DCFS, despite public questions about conflicts of interest. It was Governor Pritzker's hand-picked director that gave a no-bid contract to A-Alert, a security company that Aunt Martha's chief operating officer raised concerns about after allegations surfaced that the guards were making sexual innuendos to the children and sharing pornographic material. Despite these significant concerns and allegations of abuse at the facility, the Pritzker administration not only continued to employ the security company, they doubled down and paid them even more. According to our analysis, the state has paid over $7.5 million to the security company A-Alert over the past few years, most of which, about $2.3 million, appears to have been paid out after the first allegation of abuse. The last payment was most recently August 30th, just 1 month ago.
To anyone that this has happened to or may have happened to, this is unacceptable. And we need to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to keep the children that are in the state's care safe. And so we're paying very close attention to this case. Not going to get into the details here because it's an ongoing case. I'll point out that there are some serious allegations that are involved in here. I also know there are law firms who are, calling everybody from years gone by to ask if they'd like to be part of a lawsuit like that. And so we'll probably see more people joining a lawsuit. Just guessing, that tends to be the way that the plaintiff's bar works. And so, we'll pay close attention. And again, as we're operating these facilities, we're looking at everything, the allegations that have been made, to make sure that this isn't something that's an ongoing problem within those facilities.
The governor's office has refused to even comment on the horrific findings of this investigative report. And as a result, we are stepping up and calling for the Auditor General to conduct an audit of DCFS's handling of contracts and administration related to Aunt Martha's and A Security Services. This includes abuse, background checks, staff hiring, the backdating of protected plans to determine the extent to which contracts were monitored, whether staff were properly screened and hired, and whether all allegations of abuse and mistreatment were properly investigated. We are also asking for an examination of the spending of state funds at Aunt Martha's and A-Alert Security Services, and whether Illinois state officials acted outside the law regarding the allegations of abuse and oversight.
Again, I'm not going to make specific comment about the lawsuit other than to say that we want to make sure we're looking at everything, the allegations that are being made, and interviewing the people that are allegations have been made against. And of course, we don't want anybody working for the state that is doing anything that is endangering these children.
Instead, a 34-year-old veteran DCFS worker tried to persuade the center officials to backdate critical child protection plans amid an independent investigation by the agency's inspector general. These aren't just accusations. A DCFS spokesperson acknowledged the cover-up attempt. Thankfully, the center's staff refused to participate in this completely unethical attempt to change documents amid an investigation.
No, the people who brought the lawsuit say that it has happened to them in the past. I'm talking about in the present moment with these lawsuits filed, right? We can see from the lawsuits what the allegations are. And so looking into making sure that that isn't happening today in the facilities is something that the state is obligated and, will continue to do.
It is imperative that we have an independent audit and investigation of this situation outside of the executive branch. The families of these children deserve answers, and the people of Illinois deserve to know where and how their tax dollars are being used.